So, following our rationale here, now we're going to talk about the psychosomatic symptoms, which are widely studied today. We have books talking about that. We have epigenetics getting in the scope as well. But the most important thing that you have to understand is that there is a relatively new science that now brings data to the skeptic ones, which is the neurobio psychoendocrinology specialty, let's say. So this is the thing that together will bring the psychosomatic symptoms to a realm of materialization, as we can say, and not only tell the patient, as many times you probably heard it, or you, if you are a practitioner in the past, you have probably said it. Well, it's in your head, Mrs. Jado. It's in your head. It's nothing physical. It's in your head. Yes, of course, it's in the head. But from the head, it's becoming a symptom. The person is feeling that. So today we have this base, this foundation of neurobiopsychoendocrinology, which is a specialty that will bring together these four. And then we can think about how these symptoms are materialized. In general, the most common, let's say, psychosomatic symptom is pain. Pain is caused by many instances. Chronic pain is caused by many issues. Mostly, people would refer that as repressed rage, especially in women, which means something that you would like to say, something that you would like to put the limit, the boundary to, and you couldn't, you wouldn't, you thought it wasn't appropriate. And so you just kept going on that. And then all of a sudden that becomes a cervical pain, chronic pain, a lumbar pain, an articular pain. So it has a lot to do with these processes, emotional processes that are not put out loud. And what do they do then? They go and stimulate the fight or flight mechanism. It will trigger cortisol, it will trigger adrenergic system, and then it will trigger chronic inflammation in the last moment. And in a final path, it even can make, yes, it can make some cellular mutation. It can. And then we come to the epigenetics, right? So besides the mutation, we come to the epigenetics, which is you have a dormant gene, you have a quiet gene in there, but you are consistently exposed to a traumatic environment, family, field, work, etc. That might turn that little gene on. And then it might, in the end, become some sort of neoplasia, for instance. It's just an example, a crude example. Okay, we're going to go further in the next modules so that I can say that to you. But basically, when we're talking about psychosomatic symptoms, we're talking about that which in the end can be even materialized as physical ones. Okay. And then you might be asking, well, okay, but is this Germanic medicine? Is this something integrative medicine that we call? No, it's a way of see the symbol of the disease of the symptom, okay? So we have different approaches. I'm going to talk about resumingly in a summary of some of them, okay? And what we base our work on, okay? Our work is mostly based on, of course, the allopathic medicine, of course, because I am a doctor for 23 years. I have seen the body inside out. I have a surgical residence, which was my field of performance for 18 years in the emergency room. So yes, I have seen the body from the inside out. I have treated, stitched, I have taken things off, I have put things in. And so by that practice, I can tell you, we can do, of course, a lot. And yes, sometimes we take with the hand the disease. But sometimes, even if we take it off, the symptoms, they return sometime after. And then you have no explanation, of course, no allopathic explanation for that. So yes, of course, we do traditional medicine in here in the first level. And then in the second, third level, we use some other possibilities of understanding the symbolism of the symptoms. The most important one is the alchemy, the alchemic path. So yes, I can call myself, and you who will study this, you can call yourself an alchemist, right? So that we'll understand the divine human form and how this was known from the beginning, and how cycles work: life, death, rebirth, how things rotten, how things die, but they must die sometime, symbolically or even physically, so that you can have the overture to something new that will grow in that place. It will be the, let's say, it will help form the new, okay? So we have some interesting facts here that I'd like to acknowledge to you, which is by the 40s, 1940, I mean, past century, some scientists began to understand radio waves in the human brain, calling the way to reduce cerebral resistance. Then some other scientists and mystics as José Silva understood that hypnosis, biofeedback, he rose these themes until reach the meditative state. And then they would see that some people would have some extrasensory perception. And by that, he would understand that we could reach the point of mind control. And of course, we have some core premises in there. We are born with these abilities, but we suppress our capacities to heal through the mind because of the environment that we are in. So we have some frequencies: beta, alpha, theta, and delta. And we can operate in our brains through these frequencies. And dreams, for instance, they will appear when you are in theta or delta state, which is the sleeping state, which is programming the mind to solve the problems in the unconscious. And that's what dreams do. They resolve issues, they show answers, they talk through us through a symbolic language that, if we do understand, we have the answers for our deepest problems, even symptoms or even diseases, if you might say. And this also is a state of co-creation, okay? So we have some patterns that will lead to the materialization of the disease, which are the psychosomatic symptoms that will come to the core of the disease. There are some paths. There are several paths, actually. But we have two that are most important. One is emotional suppression. When a person suppresses feelings of anger, sadness, fear, anxiety, these emotions may later manifest physically as different symptoms according to what this person needs to learn and what is the alchemic operation that this person has to go through in order to liberate this pattern. This is very interesting. Another common pattern is the chronic stress, which is the prolonged stress that can contribute to a variety of health problems, including cardiovascular and digestive conditions. Here, I can tell you, it's even from using the clock alarm, for instance, and waking up in a sudden scary moment, let's say, where your heart beats faster, you have adrenaline running, you do have the first boost of cortisol, which, okay, is in the morning time, but it's more than you need. It's different than waking up in a plain mood, in a calm mood. It's very different. There's no way your brain can co-create something or can go activate the living pathway if you wake up in an emergency call, for instance. I can tell this because I've been a surgeon for years. So I have waken up year after year like that. And today I have hypertension. I have hypertension thanks to this mostly. Because for many years, my cortisol cycle was completely messed up. I always turn night into day and etc. Of course, not to say the stress that we go through in every surgery, but that was a controlled line. Okay. Anyways, of course, the body will respond someday, right? And so these patterns are important for you to remember. Okay. So these we're talking about the psychosomatic symptoms, which are read in different ways during or through integrative medicine, Germanic medicine, and lifestyle medicine. Integrative medicine will recognize the body-mind connection and aims to treat person as a whole. It might include talk therapies, meditation, relaxation, lifestyle changes like a neurocircuit reprogramming, which we also do here. Germanic medicine, New Germanic medicine, is developed by Dr. Reccurent, proposed that all illness, including cancer, originate from an unresolved shock or trauma, highlighting the importance of resolving emotional conflicts to reach the physical healing. So they observe the disease as the cure process. We do not do this here, okay? We do not go through this path, okay? Lifestyle medicine will emphasize lifestyle interventions as healthy diet, regular exercise, stress management, adequate sleep to prevent, treat, and potentially reverse a chronic disease. And yes, of course, this is a key movement that we have in every part of medicine because it is remedy. Sleep well is remedy. Eat well is remedy. Diminish or take off stress of your life is remedy. Exercise is remedy. This is always in every path of medical treatment or medical, even prevention is well said. So there's no doubt about that. We do this here, okay? And this approach has gained ground in medical school worldwide, shifting focus from disease and complications toward prevention and health promotion. So, okay, where does medicine and symbolic go then? What's our positioning? So I'll tell you, medicine and symbolic brings together the concrete of allopathy and the subtle of thought forms and the field personal frequency and context frequency to understand which attitudes are pertinent to those releases. So simultaneously it works. Breaking beliefs on one side, neuro remodeling on the other side. And how do we reach the pattern that has to be changed or abandoned or rewired? We do that through symptoms, synchronicities, dreams, and alchemical processes. Bringing this person to a place where she or he will understand what are the things that she has to acknowledge, alchemically talking, so that she can have the cure, he can have the cure, it's psychic cure, and eventually the physical body will respond to that. So this is what the symbolic medicine will do, and passing this review over the different alternative medicine practices we have nowadays, okay?